Alright, so I didn't like the last recording that I did at all. So this is me hoping that I can find a way to explain it better than what I did the last, audio trial that I deleted. That you don't know anything about because it's not here, because it's deleted. Anyway, I wanted to further explain my reasons for my last video, and it's honestly to, I guess, explain or show how, the short-term memory loss is kind of going on right now. And it's really because I've been traumatized, because I've been going through a lot due to like everyone's like hate and whatever they got going on. They're forcing it on me and everything, and I've been fighting for a long time, and honestly no one's been like helping me. Like no one jumps in, so I'm just swinging and swinging and swinging till where I am now. And honestly, so yeah, the video is basically to illustrate kind of how I ended up, I guess, turned out, from everything that I've been through. And that last video was my background. This is me now. And I do have short-term memory to the point where I don't even remember what I was going to say or whatever. Like, it happens like too many times. And I don't really have anybody to really kind of talk to about what I'm feeling, how I'm going through and everything like that. So that's kind of why, like, I just put it to the back of my mind to where I do forget, which is very unhealthy, So that's the reason for me coming out now and explaining it now, because this is my way of free therapy. As cringy as it is, it's for me to do. Like, I wanted to do this for a long time, and I'm finally doing it, and I'm kind of proud of myself for finally opening up, especially while the house is empty and it's quiet. I wanted to explain deeper, better what I was trying to say, what I couldn't say because I either forgot or couldn't really speak into it. I have a co-host here. Would you like to say something? She's shy, so later on she'll definitely say what was on her mind for you. So instead of me restarting a new recording, I've just resumed, which should, grant world peace at this point. So I do have a co-host. I don't remember if I said that yet, because Jesus Christ, I'm talking about my short-term memory loss here and the reasons for it, which is why I don't really go saying everything that I want to say, because I wanted it to be mature before putting it out there, which is why I wanted to start writing it out before saying anything about it. But I felt like every time I wanted to start talking about a certain topic, I would get emotional about it, and the message would get confused with my emotions instead of what was learned from the message or lesson. Anyway, everything in life is a lesson, so I don't really take it personal at all, which is probably why things are not sticking as they should. Anyway, I hope that's not as messed up as it sounds, because it does sound messed up. Anyway, but I'm so detached that I can't tell. Yeah, so basically the last video was supposed to be explaining why I'm so detached and like everything that's been going on with me, as far as me being shunned for literally my loyalty. In my opinion, I feel like I'm very, 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 very loyal to people. As shallow as that sounds, I'm very loyal to people to the point where they want to test it out and literally like dangle me off of cliffs, maybe drop me even, and see if I'll be the one to come back, and like they don't have to apologize and they can continue using me however they makes them comfortable, because I've given people that. Honestly, also because I'm an only child and I don't really have like best friends like that, So I've held on to everybody around me to the point where I've lost myself. And me losing myself is how I started losing my memory, because I'm like, I kind of stopped seeing myself, which is the worst thing to do. Like, stop seeing myself to see everyone else's like reasons, potentials, everything over my own. And I mean, I guess you are supposed to be selfless, but everyone who's selfish will not remind you of yourself. So this is me putting my entire foot in, I don't know, the world's ass, because I'm so tired of being treated the way I felt like I've been treated, with nobody having my back, because I'm so quote unquote strong, which I'm very happy that I'm strong, because imagine fighting my entire life. I'm fighting because I'm usually, like, I've been, for some reason, I don't know why, my mom would put me in some all-white schools. I've been the only black girl in most of my classes, trying to be people. Well, no, people would try to, bully me. And I'm like, not the girl to bully. Like, I'm a Taurus. I'm Haitian. I'm just determined. I don't know how else to really explain who I am. Perhaps my co-host would like to say something. Just a second. No. False alarm. But like I said, once my co-host is ready to come up to the podium, my co-host will let us know. All right. So anyways, like I said, my wires are tripped, so that's why the recording stops. So I'm trying to record as much as possible. Bless you, my child. I'm trying to record as much as I can before it does cut off, if it does cut off. Anyways, like I said, I did tell you, I don't know if you see, I do have short-term memory to the fact that I really forget everything that I just said. Excuse me, I just burped. But yeah, that last video was about all the relationships that I wanted to build a family unit with that epically failed because guys love cheating. And honestly, I'm not trying to, blame guys. I do blame myself. I blame everything. I just hate how the world is. And instead of me putting this in a poetry, I don't know, I just decided to just say it. I'm very sure that I'm gonna delete everything until I'm going to delete everything as soon as I'm able to grow from these situations. Like, this is my way of closure. Everything behind me is behind me, and I won't let it reach up to me or catch up to me or anything like that. I'm literally trying to grow. If I have to do it by myself, then that's fine, because no one is going to help me like I haven't been helped before. So this is me venturing all the way out to the heavens, to the clouds. Not really, that I'm ready for, my mind to heal. And to be a new person. My co-host said some few words. Anyway, also for not only for me but for my co-host, you know what I mean. So anyway, I agree very much so. I told you, once my co-host is prepared with her words, everything written down, yeah, she's come to the conclusion of what to say. So yeah, yep. And I totally agree 100%. And yeah, So like I was saying, this is me healing from all the traumatic wounds and also explaining where I am coming from in life. You know what I mean? From a family unit, I wanted to do this real and officially, but God almighty, I don't it's not that I don't want to anymore. I have like only one person in mind to do this with, and if not, then I'm completely fine doing this alone for the rest of my life. And yeah, I mean, love is always, you know, love, but as far as me speaking out for myself, if I have to continue speaking out for myself, then I mean, I'm not gonna be able to think about anybody else for down the line except for me and my co-host here, which is not a problem to me. I wanted to talk about being the fact that I wanted to be family oriented, to talk about my family and how they see you as who you accompany yourself with. And my family accompanies themselves together, like they're usually together, and I'm from New York, so they don't involve me in everything. I'm not the same as them and everything like that. They find me too defensive, I feel. And I've lowered my defense so many times, and all they've done was play to my face. And I've like, I mean, what else am I gonna do except allow it? Now, the one time that I did fight back, everyone's against me and stuff, and didn't invite me to Thanksgiving. I was not invited to Thanksgiving, so last year, which is fine by me because I didn't really care. Like, I have my baby now, and I'm actually content. You know, like, I don't think anything will be more than this feeling, like more fulfilling than this. Being a mom, oh, it's such a monumental kind of thing. Like, it's so big. It's such a it's so big. It's so big. It's so big. It's the biggest like feeling ever. Nothing, no love in the world. Not even being a wife. I've been a wife, I've been divorced. Nothing surpasses being a mom, creating life. Someone who's like, who looks forward to you every time you move, every time they move. It's amazing. Anyways, this is not what the video is for. I mean, it is. You see, I just get distracted. And I wish I did write this down, but I just know that I'll go off on a tangent of how I feel. Because I am upset and I do want to heal. Especially, okay, this is what I really wanted to tell you in this video. What's been going on? And honestly, every time it's very confusing, so stay with me if you want to. If not, I'm sorry, you know, fuck it. I mean, I'm fine. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, because it is a lot. What's been going on with me is every time I do decide to move on with my ex, because my ex is very, like I said, I've been with him too long. I've been with him the longest, and he has been trying to control every second of my life, to the point where I kind of can't, or he's not letting me go. So that's why I said this video is a closure. He's not letting me do anything for myself, you know, without him, as far as dating anybody, anything. Focusing on dating. Anytime I do move on to somebody, he, you know, tracks them down and literally like bullies them into playing with me, like throwing me off of the relationship. Like, we'll have some understanding, and then they'll turn into some make me a sandwich kind of, person. And it's like, see, our understanding definitely just fell through because someone has gotten to you. And me, I'm only saying it's my ex because that was him. And for a while, being that I knew him the longest, I was like, sure, I'll make you a sandwich. But it's not like he was like, make me a sandwich. No. He was like, I'm kind of hungry right now. And I'm like, sure, I'll make you a sandwich. 1 second. Uno momento. Are you alright, my child? My co-host? Are you alright? It is kind of late. My co-host would usually get ready to go to sleep by this time. So anyway, I just felt like everybody before my ex was nice, including him. He was nice to the point where, like, certain people would get in people's ear and tell them how to treat whoever they're, like, I just feel like everyone around me listens to everyone else tell them how to treat me. And that's so weird. Like, why don't people just treat me how I come, or whatever the case may be? That's just how I've been going through my life, being a family. Like, everyone's been teaming up. Like, everyone teams up and they have each other's back. They'll literally, like, team up against me, gang up against me, whatever. And I'll be the one fending for myself. And I mean, I can fight, I can, argue it down, but it's like I'm exhausted. I exhaust myself to the point where it is traumatic, and I definitely have to go all out, or else I'll continue fighting. I just do this like kind of statement kind of fighting. I set the tone of not me ish. And yeah, I just continue until it's understood, which I find tiring. I find really tiring, and I feel like whatever. That's what this video is for, to explain where I am, where I'm coming from, and everything. And every time I do try to move on from that, I run into the same situation. And I just feel like the format has been repeated so many times that I can easily say it's been my ex doing the same thing. Let's get specific. All right. So there's one guy that I talked to. Oh my god, my co-host just let one rip. So there's a guy I talked to, and he's part of the family. My family. He's not really like related to me, but when I say part of the family, he comes to every family event because he's invited by my younger cousin. They're like best friends. Like, everyone always has a best friend that's always, invited to the family events that I'm usually not invited to. Anyway, one moment. So, you see, there goes that memory. Oh, so this one friend who's usually invited that I'm usually uninvited, I see him, and that was kind of a method that I used to kind of stay close with the family. And for a while it worked, but then, I was able to finally talk to somebody, and I started to come to the conclusion of I kind of don't want to be invited wherever, they are going. Like, I'm happy that I had the opportunity to turn down, not wanting to be invited everywhere that they, go. And it's very much messed up because they were already hanging out without me. So the reason why I said I didn't want to go was because I didn't want to be that last wheel or whatever. Even if I was going to be with him, I mean, he was already closer to them than I was, so, and they're my family. But they treated him like he's part of the family. Anyway, every time me and him texted or spoke on the phone, whatever, every time we spoke, there was a situation where another male, an ex, someone previous to him, would message me. And every time like he would message me, I would literally tell this story to somebody. And I'm not a kind of person to drag anybody into my business. Like the first dude, all right, I'm just gonna start using initials. A. Okay, his name is A. The Family Guy. And R is the guy who, I dated previously, and we broke up because it was too much, like very annoying how we would argue all the time and never reach any conclusions because it was not masculine of him to reach a conclusion. My bad, co-host. I'm sorry. I'm using all the time, and my co-host really wanted to say something. I apologize. Oh. All right. So, yeah, I stopped talking to my ex, and he really wanted to continue talking to me. But this is exactly what my last ex would do, where he kept coming back. And I live with my mom, so she kept allowing him back. And I know I said that in the last video, but that's how it ended up being so traumatic for me, because my voice ended up kind of going away. If I said I didn't want somebody, why don't anybody hear me? And why was it okay for this person to continue coming back when I was trying to do better for myself? Like, nobody heard me say, I'm being hurt, I didn't want this, I'm, crying out for help. Like, nobody heard me, but allowed him back because, well, he was light-skinned, in my opinion. My ex, not R. This X is A. Oh, this is not A. Okay, see, this is crazy, because the one who I assume is doing all this initial is R and A, but the Family Guy, his name is A, and the ex that I dated for a split second is the one whose name is R. Now, whenever A messages me on my phone, R messages me too. All right. And I don't really message A with too many details due to the fact that he is connected to my family, and I kind of regarded what he was sharing to the family. I didn't let him in on too many details. So I felt like I was doing myself a favor, or doing him a favor, by, keeping us with some, or keeping myself with some secrets, so that, he didn't think I was crazy or anything. But I didn't really care anymore, because honestly, it was still going on. So I was finally able to capture, well, first of all, I did tell A that this is what was going on, where every time I was messaging him, another guy would try to message me. It went on so much to the point where, all right, every time R would message me, I would just block him. And the last time R messaged me, he sent me a picture of his member. And this time, when R messaged me after, of course, talking to A, I sent it to A. First of all, when I told A what was going on, he was like, oh, he like laughed it off. He was like, oh, you're talking about the guy who found out that we're talking. And I'm like, no. But I did tell him that there is someone who found out that, we're talking and is using every time that we're talking, sorry, to throw a wrench in the conversation. Now, he was like, oh yeah, sure. And like literally laughed it off. But I have the screenshots because I'm not bullshitting. If I say something more than once, it's really because it's true. I don't really lie anyway. If I say something more than once, that means it's occurring more than once. It's not even like it's true or anything. Like everything is true. Everything is true. I'm 30. I have no reason to lie. Yeah. I have no reason to lie. Anyway, so I was finally able to capture R, messaging me another body part. Well, it was basically the same body part, but he was like full body in it. So I didn't open the message. I screenshotted my phone, and like my phone screensaver, what is it called? The home screen or the lock screen on my phone. And I sent it to A. A responds full outrage, like, what are you doing? What are you sending me? Hey, bruh, and stuff like that. And I'm just like, bruh, like, that's how I know he was in on it. And that's not even like, I know it's gonna sound annoying, but literally it's hard for me to find the words for this because I've been internalizing all of this for a long time, and it's been going on for a long time, how everything is in sync. Yeah, it's just really hard for me to like say it because it is overwhelming when I say it out loud. I've been understanding it, I've been understanding it, internally or quietly, or I don't know the words to say, like, that I've been understanding what's been going on, because I know who my ex is. Like, he's very weird, and he told me that he was gonna do all of this. Like, before we broke up, we had a conversation one day, and he's like, if we break up, will you find me? Or if we break up, will you this and that? And in my mind, I'm like, sure, why would we break up? Like, why would we? Especially if everything's going on. Like, like I said, we were together for a very, very long time, for some years. So anyway, this is the last of this video because the video is ending. Well, it's ending, but it didn't end yet. So I'm gonna try to continue. Well, I don't want to lose my train of thought. But anyway, I know it's my ex because he's weird. He's crazy like that. And he definitely programmed all these guys to really kind of bully me into staying single because they're all being ridiculous. And if I explained that to anybody, they would look at me like, oh, I'm crazy. And then for a while, everyone started calling me a witch because how was I able to know that it was him doing all of this? Like, I was seeing in the future, or like people are treating me like a third world, or is it a third world or whatever, like some creature, like I'm not supposed to know what's going on. I'm a witch, I do magic and voodoo and whatever, witchcraft to find out like what's going on and everything. And it's really unfortunate because it's hard to prove to anybody, especially when there's no proof. Like, all there is timestamps, and the people who are involved with the timestamps are also in on it. So they're also looking at me like I'm the one who's crazy. Like, the purpose of this whole thing is to kind of make me seem like I'm crazy. And people will treat me like I'm crazy when I finally say what's been going on. So that's why I haven't really said anything, because it is annoying to really try to say that's why I haven't said it in the last video, because I wanted to sleep on it and like really think about what I'm trying to say. This isn't even the only encounter. This is just this team. And there's another team. There's like so many teams against me. And I just feel like they're all going through him or something. Like, people are staying away from me because they think that I'm some kind of firecracker due to all the things that's been going on in my life. And so, literally, I can't tell if they're going to him. But I just feel like they've been leaving me alone. Like, everybody has been leaving me alone. But I'm not upset. I'm very thankful for the life that I'm living. You know, I do well in solitude. Like I said, I'm an only child. I haven't really needed anyone. I mean, I do whenever I'm going through something. But I end up going through it by myself anyway. You know, like I end up going through it if I just continue. You know, it's just sometimes it does get tiring. And it's good to talk about it. It's a good therapy. You know, so that's what I've been dealing with for the past couple of years. It could be a decade, honestly. It's just been a very long time. And I've been in solitude because I know if I talk to anyone about it, they're just going to say that I'm crazy. So I haven't been saying anything, but that's what's been repeating. I know I'm repeating myself, but who knows? Anyways, love you guys. Thank you for listening. And I hope to see you in my next video, because there's a lot more to say that I just haven't said. This is a drama that's been going on for too long, and I'm just glad to finally put it to rest mentally, if not actually or physically. So love you guys. Peace out. And don't treat anybody like my exes have treated me. Please love people. All right, see you in my next video. Peace.